we view a new stadium, let's say of 55 to 60,000 fans, would probably cost in the neighborhood of 450 million pounds with the land, maybe 500, maybe 550. A redevelopment of Stamford Bridge, the profit on the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge would be a small portion of that. Maybe it would be a third of that. So a substantial amount of money would have to be provided by Mr. Abramovich and or other sources such as bank financing in order to permit us to move to another location. But the redevelopment profits at Stamford Bridge would be an important component, albeit not even anything approaching 50%, of the funds that we would need in order to build a new stadium. I don't think it would be feasible at all from a financial perspective for us to move unless we could take the profits on a redevelopment of Stamford Bridge and put it towards a new stadium. There's no opportunity here for, in the scenario that you've described, for Mr. Abramovich to make any money.
Now, quite a few questions coming through on Twitter about Chelsea pitch owners. One of the questions was, why can't you just transfer the Chelsea pitch owner shares from the current stadium to a new stadium if we were to move?
We just think it's not necessary and it's a cumbersome procedure. I think you have to put in perspective why Chelsea Pitch Owners was formed. And you know, it was formed because in the late 80s and the early 90s, developers had their eye on this site. Developers had their eye on the fact that there was a mortgage on the site. And they were looking for ways to, against their will, push Chelsea Football Club out of Stamford Bridge and redevelop the site. The facts at that time were, though, that the site was worth more than Chelsea Football Club. So it made sense for developers to buy Chelsea Football Club, move it or put it out of existence, whatever they wanted to do, and then redevelop the site. They could make a lot more money that way. But the tables have turned, in a sense. The club today is worth significantly more than the Stamford Bridge site is worth. So there's no reason why a developer would possibly come in here and say, I'll buy Chelsea Football Club. That's assuming Mr. Abramovich would sell, by the way, which I'm virtually certain he would not. Buy Chelsea Football Club, throw the club out and redevelop the ground. It just would make no economic sense. They'd lose hundreds of millions of pounds. So that's why we think carrying over those protections to a new site doesn't make sense, it's cumbersome, and not necessary.